Brenda J. Lilly here with the Bridge Artistic Network. I wanted to put out a small disclaimer before we launch into today's video. I am not a licensed therapist. I am just a fellow creative artist who hopes to encourage, engage, and hopefully empower other creative artists to go out and live their art dream. Okay, here we go into today's video. I hope you enjoy it. Well, good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday morning, February 3rd. I'm Brenda J. Lilly with the Bridge Artistic Network, and it is time for our Tuesday talkback. Unfortunately, our Monday morning kickstart was preempted by a Monday morning migraine, which is now gone. Huzzah! I've got my big old cup of coffee. I hope you have something, a nice hot beverage keeping you warm on this very cold winter morning. I hope you like this video. If you do, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, but most importantly, pass it on to everyone you know and love so we can keep on becoming who we were created to be. All right, on with the video, and I will see you on the flip side. It's Talkback Tuesday. I'm Brenda J. Lilly, and this is the Bridge Artistic Network. And I hope you have a nice warm beverage keeping you cozy on this fine winter morning. I want to talk a little bit more about what we unpacked last week with limitations not being a bad thing, listening to our mind, our body, and our spirit. And also, when a door opens, we need to walk through. We need to stop clutching our pearls and walk. How is that yes and? How do you listen to your mind, your body, your spirit? Know your limitations, your boundaries. But when a door opens that doesn't look like something you ever imagined for yourself, how could that possibly be for you? And how is it you gather your strength and your self together and walk on through? It's interesting because on one side of the door, you're dealing with making sure that you're listening to yourself, that you're taking good care of yourself, that you're giving yourself what you need in order to grow in strength, in wisdom, in love, compassion, mercy, grace, kindness, gentleness. And then there's this little thing that we all have to do. And I think we artists do it more than most, which is take great leaps of faith. I think when a door opens that looks completely other than to us, and we go, really? I think a lot of artists go, instead of really, we go, really? Do you see the difference? One is like, I don't think so. And the other is, wow, I never thought of that. It's a gentle and yet and minute thought switch. One pushes away new opportunity, and one imagines, well, while I never thought of that before. Oh, okay, let's give it a try. Why not? What's the worst that could happen? It's a leap of faith. It's saying to yourself, to those around you, I never thought of this before, but just because I didn't think of it doesn't mean that this isn't for me and that I'm not supposed to do it. I've talked about when I was a teenager and I had a high school teacher who put me forth in a leadership position as an administrator. And I thought, what is he talking about? How is that possible? I'm not an administrator. And I didn't even know what that was. But I was having to organize an entire event. And he looked at me and he said, I've never seen someone as organized as you. I never looked at myself that way. My classmates all came around me saying, yeah, okay, you do it. Yep, you'll be good at it. I'd never seen myself that way. I'd always seen myself as a goofy, sort of outsider artist who didn't play by anybody else's rules and didn't like boxes much. And so I didn't fit into mainstream society. And that's kind of a truth, right? I do think differently than other people. I am different. But that doesn't mean I don't have administrative abilities and can't function in society. It just means the way I function might be a little different. And I don't think this has to be this way because that's how we've always done it. In fact, that's how we've always done it is sort of almost something I reject right from the get go, right from the jump. Just because it's something we've always done doesn't mean we have to continue to do it. If it no longer serves our purposes, our plans, and our future, we need to drop what was and pick up what will be. Leap of faith, outside of the box thinking, letting go of the past, letting go of what was to grab a hold of what could be. And that you can only do well if you have listened to your mind, your body, your spirit, and only if you understand, well, this is where I get bunched up. This is where I don't have the skill level to do this, this, and this. So I'm going to have to find somebody to do that part of the gig because that is not for me. For instance, I would never want to be the accountant on anything. It's not that I can't add. It's not that I can't balance books. It's that I find no joy in it and it bunches me up. I don't like it. I would never be a technical director in theater. My brain simply doesn't think that way. And that's okay. There are people for that and who love that and who do that well. So as long as I know myself and I'm honest with myself about what is possible and what is not possible, I can accomplish almost anything I put my mind to. That is a truth. Because I'm aware of who I am and what I was created to do. And I'm also aware of who I'm not. And that I wasn't, look, I'm never going to be a math teacher, and that's okay. I'm fine with that. Doesn't hurt my feelings anymore. I never wanted to be a math teacher. So don't worry about that. But when you're in school and you're called stupid because you don't understand how something works, that hurts your feelings. It also turns you off from that side of education. And I think I could do a lot more mathematically now as an adult than I ever could when I was in school and being shut down constantly. I'm a much more powerful individual now than I was when I was a teenager. And people used to call me a force of nature back then. So, yikes. But in order to take the leap of faith, in order to know you can handle whatever is going to come as you walk through that door, you have to know yourself. You have to have given yourself space and time and some attention. And I'm not talking about being selfishly motivated. I'm just talking about when you need rest, you sleep. When you need a day off, you take it. Stop being a giant in our own mind, thinking the world is going to dissolve without us putting in our 2 cents every single moment of every single day. If someone can't get in touch with me for a couple of hours, is the world going to come to an end? No. Will supper be late? Maybe. Will the world end if supper's late? No. We put so much stress on ourselves, undue stress on ourselves, to be available all the time. And we were not created. Human beings we're finite. And our capacity to handle tissue issues, problems, and people is finite. Every day, we need to find rest. We need to find peace. We need to refocus, recenter, remake, breathe. And every day, we need to fill our cup up with joy, with wonder, with the things that actually fulfill us and rebuild sometimes, but build up our passion, build up our energy, give us joy, because out of that joy is our strength to handle what's coming next as we walk through that door. So when that door opens and we've done the work of taking care of our mind, our body, our spirit, we're ready to walk through. We don't have to worry that it doesn't look like what we expected it to look like. I think it's when we haven't done the preparatory work of self-care, knowing our limitations, knowing that we've set good boundaries for ourselves, understanding who we are and what makes us tick. When we've done that work, there is no need to clutch your pearls and wonder, is this door for me? In fact, when the door swings wide, when you've done that work, you go, all right, let's do it. Let's see what happens. And you sort of just begin to open up your arms a little bit to possibility. And your hands are open, not clutched, but open in order to receive what it is, this journey, and as I said before, I believe God has for us. I can't tell you how many weird doors have opened for me, and I've walked through, and 5 years down the pike, I'm like, if you would have told me 5 years ago that this is what I'd be doing, I would have looked at you and said, you are insane. Insane, you crazy. And what a wonderful life that is. A life of the unexpected, a life of the extraordinary. Why would you want normal when you can have extraordinary? But you have to be ready for extraordinary. You have to be ready for wonder and awe and shock sometimes. And it's not that everything goes well or is perfect, because this is the real world and nothing is ever perfect, but possible. And extraordinary, while it's not going to be perfect, doesn't lack in wonder and awe. It's extraordinary. It's weird. It's wonderful. And it gets to become a life well lived. You know, the theater world lost a powerhouse a couple weeks ago. Her name was Tina Packer, and I had the privilege of working with her for years. Not as many years as some people, but I had my time with her, and she impacted my life in ways that I'm still using, in ways that I still function as an artist. And it's all because she just said, I don't want to do theater the way everybody's doing it. I want to see if something else is possible. And you know, when I was working at the company the last year that I worked there, I started dreaming about what else was possible. What if we could do this work, but do it differently? Is that possible? Is that achievable? And I have to tell you, when I left the company, I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know where I would end up, or if my dreams were just going to stay that way. I'm happy to report they haven't stayed dreams. They actually have evolved and turned into a semblance of reality. And I got to say, yeah, it is possible to do this work in another way and achieve beautiful pieces of art. But what I found on this journey was of most import to me wasn't the applause, wasn't the accolades. It was the people. And that has been a journey of the extraordinary for me. To find my way to loving people, loving working with artists of all different kinds, loving hearing their stories and their struggles and their accomplishments and their excitement over figuring something out as they continue to hone their craft. It's beautiful. It's extraordinary. And I am blessed to be a part of that journey. So you have to do the work of taking care of your mind, your body, and spirit, to listening to yourself, making sure you know yourself well enough. And then when that door opens, you're able to walk on, take that leap of faith, and walk through that really strange and wonderful and marvelous door to your most extraordinary life. So, it's yes and. You can't have one without the other. You have to put those things together in order to be ready for what's coming next. That's what I have for us today. Let's talk about it. It's Talk Back Tuesday. Let's have a chit chat on the on in a, online on the interwebs. I don't know, in the comments. Put put your thoughts in the comments below. All right. I love you all. Have a blessed week. See you next Monday. Hey, thank you so much for watching our video. I hope you liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, subscribe. What are you waiting for? All right. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Bye.